and thanks for being part of our foundation. And thanks for just making a difference, guys. You're out there, you're making a difference. You're making a difference. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the newest book that we've created. And this is talks about our story and it talks about your story. Many of you stories are in here. And I wanted to first show it to you because this is something you can share with others. This is a fun little book that we've created. And it's our story. And more importantly, it's your story. So this is the new book called Success and Money Foundation, how your life can become a success story. Every one of you have a story. Every one of you got a story. Well, let's turn it into a success story. And this is the story of that. So I'm going to take you to the site and show you where you can get that. And so let's go back to the site. Now, when you come back to the successandmoneyfoundation.org, I'm going to show you where you can get it. You can simply come over here to number 3, courses. Go to number 3, courses and downloads. And then you go to 3.5, and 3.5 is the free books. You click on the free books, and the introductory book is right here, which is just mostly a stat book telling about all the things. This one is a little bit different. This one talks about our story of how it all happened and introduction to the foundation and what we're doing with it. So I want to take you there. And you can also share this. So what's so cool about this is if you come to 3.2, you can do share books and videos. You click on it and you can come down here to the book itself. You can share all these books with family and friends. You just copy the link, send them the link, and then they can read the book online. They can click and get a free membership as well because they have access to so many more things if they have a login to be able to do that. And you can see here's all these wonderful books that you can give away. Just give them away. Give them away. So you can copy your link here or you can text it, or if the old school is just grab that link right there and send that. But let me take you through the book a little bit because I really want you to kind of see it. And so here is the Study Successful People. Let's go to the free book section right here. So here's the free books. And here's the latest one that we finished. And just a big thank you to Audrey Ledesma, who edited this book. And Joshua, of course, our genius with all of that. He has made this thing really crank and made this happen. So congratulations to both of you guys. That's really sweet and awesome. All right, let's go to the full screen on that so you can see that just a little bit better. Okay, here's the book right here. And so, the question is, would you read this book and complete online courses if I gave you some cash and prizes and stock? Well, of course you would. I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that you're going to manage to spend between $1 and $10 million in your lifetime. That's true. Everybody is. The bad news is the vast majority of you are going to die broken in debt. But the good news is that there's a foundation, a group of individuals, best-selling authors, educators, and entrepreneurs that have come together to help you and your family and friends to have a better life by offering the free Success and Money classes for anyone, anywhere. Our family has donated $3 million to the foundation that we can give away to students. The foundation's got the 3 missions. So we've talked about what those missions are: to help those in need, to help you, and of course, to get your investment accounts open, provide an educational platform. This is all in the book and it's easy to see. Now, on top of that, I want to show you that you can get this book. This book is $9.97 on Amazon. And I just want to show you some quick little pieces here that kind of introduce everybody. So this is kind of the table of contents. And, begin with the end in mind, a blueprint for your life, our purpose and mission, and we want you to join the family. Then it talks a little bit about things that I learned from my dad and my mom. We talked about the 7 generations of secrets and strategies and successes and things like that our family has done. And if I go back to my great grandpa John, he was kind of a scoundrel. He remarried and he cut my great grandfather Charlie out of his inheritance, and my great grandfather Charlie lost the family farm, and he never recovered from it. Mentally, he never recovered. Emotionally, never really recovered from it, and that had a massive influence on my grandpa Fred, who had a big influence on my dad, who had a big influence on me, and it's had an influence passing that down from generation to generation to generation. You say, well, how do people do things? Why do they do what they do? Well, probably because it was handed down to them from the different generations. And so this is the story about all of that and lessons that I learned from my mom and dad. I learned this stuff right at the kitchen table. My dad taught me these things. He taught, I started working right here on page 50, sweeping floors and cleaning out the bathrooms and getting a raise and learning how to work. My dad taught me how to work. My first $130 that I made, and we separated it. My dad, the 5 steps are things my dad taught me. The 7 steps are the things my dad taught me. And then I've had all kinds of other mentors that believed the same thing he did, that we just simply took it to the next level. To the next level, we added to it. The system's got to be so simple you can do it on the back of an envelope. Number 2 is it's got to be so simple that you can put it in action on one piece of paper. And then we add layer after layer and layer and more complexity. But the first 2 steps has got to be simple. And that's what we did. And so all of this compounding, putting your money to work, making 12% as a kid on our investments. The rule of 72 was taught to me as a teenager. Becoming an owner, I started buying stocks as a teenager. Compounding, a lot of the lessons that we earned. And a lot of this is the inspiration, is now the foundation. Giving money away. All that stuff happened to me at a very young age, and then other people that I sought out believed the same thing. They were on the same path. They were on the same journey, and they'd been up and down that street many times. Talks about real estate, how I got started with real estate, and how we helped take a big piece of land, and my dad bought that land, and the creative way that he did it. The creative financing. You hear these guys talk about creative financing, Grant Cardone and all these other guys. Well, guess what? That stuff's been done for generations. It's just they're the ones that you're hearing right now. And it talks a lot about real estate and stock and stuff like that. Talk about the girl next door, across the street, girl that I married, LaDawn. She's a wonderful woman. And it's our story. I was 5 when she was 3, and they moved away because their dad got another job. But our family was close and friends and Christmas cards and stuff like that. And my mom told me to go look her up because I was going to the same college that she was, and I found her, and we started dating and dated for 3 years because I was really busy. And we started a family. And this talks about that, taking classes and at night. And the financial genius, Mark Harrelson, owned the apartment complex that I lived in when I was going to college. Before my Christian mission. And then all the different guys, the mentors that I've had, and the mentors and millionaires that I've worked with, how I volunteered for stuff and then became the right-hand man with Robert Allen, and how I went out and did real estate. I didn't get a job because I wanted a job. I did it because I wanted to learn how to do it. And it's because my dad planted that seed at an early age. And so that's why we were able to do that. And so this talks about all these kinds of people that made this massive influence on my life. Talks about the St. Louis Challenge, where Robert Allen, I got a chance to travel with Bob all over the country because they needed somebody to help him get where he needed to go. I literally drove him or got him there, got him to the studio, whatever he needed. And so he didn't have to think about any of that stuff, just what he was going to do when he was on TV. And I got to ask him all kinds of questions in the airplane, over lunch, whatever it was, and then I'd go do it. And we were at CNN in New York City, and the guy said, "Well, Bob, I know you can buy real estate with little or nothing down. You've proven that, but can the average guy do it?" And he was a little bit upset with that because he learned it the same way I learned it, from other people. And so we did the St. Louis Challenge, where we took people out of an unemployment line, and we literally I went to 6 unemployment lines, and I handed out flyers for days, telling people about this opportunity. If they want to be part of it, just come to the hotel in a couple of days, and we were doing a screening process. And how we did the screening process, and we told every one of them they failed, but 3 of them did whatever it took to be part of that. They called us, they tracked us down, and we did the book and we did the challenge with those 3 people. And I coached them. I was their 90-day coach. Bob taught them for 2 days, talked to them like once a month because that's what the challenge was. But I was periodic coaching. I was a young guy and I kind of coached them through it because I was doing little deals at the time. And this is the true story of how we did that. And that's what we're doing now with you. It's the same thing. And the stuff we learned from that. The book talks about the rise of me building some pretty massive sized businesses. I've built some really big businesses in my late 20s. I became a millionaire and a multimillionaire in my late 20s. But the outside world really crushed some of the businesses that we had. The Gulf War, where we bombed Iraq and went into that. I had a heart attack and a nervous breakdown right after that. I worked hard for those things. I laugh about it now, but it dang near took me out. And I've got 2 special needs kids, and I had to figure out how to take care of them. I had to figure out how to make enough money to take care of them because the government's not going to take care of them. So I had to learn how to do that, and talks about the scariness. And the one thing that I know for sure is that if you want to bring a man to his knees, then have something bad happen to his kids. And this scared me to death. And so I really started working on my health. I started working on all kinds of things and finances and multiple streams of income and real estate and all that stuff. And that was the seed that really grew and built the foundation. But the first thing I had to do was figure out how to solve my family problems. And this is the story of that, and how I battled back after that heart attack. A heart attack at age 34, pretty young, too young. Had to start over. I had to figure out systems. And a lot of that stuff you see in the foundation now. And we did really well. We made $10 million in real estate. And how we started with nothing. My dad didn't give us a bunch of money. We haven't had people donate big chunks of money. This is how we did it, guys. And it's the same way you're going to do it. Learn from us. We've already been down this path. We've been down this road. Just follow what we're doing. And then about giving, and how giving is a massive piece of what we do, because givers get. It's a spiritual law and it's a business law. And then we talk about my parents and the game plans that they created. In 1984, my mom and dad created a game plan, literally, where we would create these game plans for all of the grandkids and told them how much money they needed to start to save and invest. And we started teaching them the systems, and it's had a massive impact. Well, in 1984, my mom and dad only had 12 grandkids. Well, I'm one of 10 children, so, big family. But when my mom and dad passed away, they had 70 grandchildren and great grandchildren, and all of them had a sub account or an investment account. And they planted a money tree for them. And then we took care of those investments until they got to be 21 or whatever. Then they could take that money and put it into real estate, or they could put it into business. They could use it for Christian missions, or they could keep investing. And all of that was done. So the stuff you're seeing in the foundation is stuff that I learned from other people that I just learned from and then modeled into here. And that's how we learned it. So we created this new kind of school, which is the foundation, what our missions are, how it started. And then we're teaching you the simplicity of the 7 steps. There's 7 simply steps that you do. And then lessons, and then the big piece, how do you get people on the path? How do we help other people? How did we fund it? How did we put all the $3 million in the foundation? Well, somebody didn't write us a check. We did that. How do you earn financial rewards? And then an introduction, how to earn money. And again, you don't need us, guys. If you just get the education, that's all you need. But if you want some financial rewards to help you, that's fine. That's great as well. And then the Success Money Foundation. And it's really a fun book. And guys, it took a long time to write this. And a big shout out to Josh and to Audrey for helping me with this, because it is not, I'm not, put me on a spreadsheet. I'm really good at spreadsheets, but it's it's kind of fun because we kind of take you down through some of the fun pictures. This is my family right now. And there's a couple more grandkids on that have come since then, and talks about my parents. This is my mom and dad right here. They got married 1948. They were born in 1930 during World War II, during the Great Depression, and they grew up during that time. And my grandfather um, had to move another city to get a job, and he literally carried a knife with him because it was so dangerous. And he said that, well, I don't want my kids growing up with this. And so he literally got up and moved to a smaller town, same town that his father had lost the family farm with, but they started over. And it talks about my dad and how my dad was just a teenager when they started doing that, and how they pulled out, used to go around finding old cars, and they would pull those out of fields, and then they would take those cars back to this service station. It was a two-bay service station that served gas, and then they'd fix them up and resell them. And that got us into the car business. Here's one of the pictures with my dad and mom with some of the grandkids. You're passing it down, guys. This is true. We're passing it down. This is the systems that we used. We literally sat down with the kids and we taught them this system. And you can see there's the 7 steps right there. The one that's got a little bit of color on it. Then we gave them $1 million bill, told them how much money they needed to start and save. And I know that's had a major impact on all these kids. These kids are having a better life because what my dad taught me and what I systematized. I know we got free and clear houses and real estate and all that in here, guys. Here's a picture of my mom and dad with, they had 6, we got 5 of them here, but they had 6 grandchildren all in 1 year. This is one of the pictures. This is my little boy right now, when he was crying because the other gal took his binky. Yeah, but they grow up. Children grow up, and we got to teach them this stuff. Well, this is my son now, and he's 27, and he's living in Hawaii right now, and he's traveling the world. He's having a wonderful time because of the things that we were able to do. Just some other stuff. Sorry for kind of spinning through this, but I just want you to see how cool this book is. This is my dad. This is a picture of me and my dad. And this is when we actually went to the Olympics. And this is my dad, and he taught me this stuff. He always wanted this stuff taught. Oh. This is a story about Mrs. Broadhead, who gave us money when we were just a teenager to give away. She planted that seed when I was a teenager. This is my mom and dad right here, and that's the game plan that we created for each of the grandkids. And we would create those game plans and send them all out to the kids so they could see where they were at. Learning about money from my dad, all the things that I learned, becoming the bank, stuff like that. It's all in here. Sorry, kind of going through this quick. I just wanted to show you some of the big pieces to it, though, because it's real estate, fixing up real estate. I mean, this is an ugly house, and we made a lot of money on that house because my dad taught me about problems. Go find problems, solve problems, add value. And we did real estate again and again and again and again and again. And that's how we made our fortune. And that's how we were able to give it away to you. Putting up the family car dealership. We built that. Sorry, I'm just spinning through here, just trying to find pictures that'll kind of give you an idea of what's in the book. And this is LaDonna and I. That's a picture of us and a big check. And we were very young, and how we got started and how we did it. Going into kind of detail about college and learning from my college professors that were actually doing it and guys that did it. Sorry for the scrolling, but I just want you to see how cool this book is. It's a wonderful book. And mentorships, there's Bob Allen and I, and I learned so much from him. This foundation wouldn't be here without him. He taught me how to systematize uh, the things that had been taught so that we could do it as a system and we could pass it down to the next generations. There's a picture with Robert Allen and Robert Kiyosaki. I shared the stage with those guys. There was about around 10,000 people, and I got to speak to 10,000 people, which was kind of a cool thing. Sorry for the death scroll here, but this talks about the St. Louis Challenge, how we literally went to an unemployment line and took those people out of an unemployment line and taught them how to change their world. And Bob Allen has donated this so that you can go through these classes online. You would have spent thousands and $5,000 to $10,000 to go through this material. But as a foundation, these guys are letting us use it to give to you for free. Massive value here, guys. Okay, sorry, just cranking through here. Probably giving you a headache just looking at all this. Sorry, but I just wanted to show you some stuff. There's my special needs son. There's Ryan, and I have two special needs kids, and my daughter right now is having some real issues. So you got to take care of the kids, guys. Talk about the heart attack and what happened, and how we had $4 million in accounts receivable and no debt, and then the war hit, and it just killed our business. I had 250 people, 250 employees, and it wrecked that business. And we were doing great. It's outside sources and outside forces happen to you. So I learned how to build a different foundation and different streams. There's my kids right now. There's a picture of my fam right now. How we recovered from the heart attack, and how I rebuilt it all with a different kind of a foundation. And this is a picture of my wife and I when we gave away some of the real estate. Literally, we just deeded it over. They were free and clear. I'd owned them for many, many years, and this is how we started the foundation. Those two pieces of paper right there, when we gave it away. And you give it away once, and then it has all this money in it, and it takes advantage of it, and we take it and we give it away. That's how you do it. And my kids it's fine. We got plenty of money for the kids, and we'll continue to give money to the foundation. Lessons learned. Teaching groups. We've taught, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of groups all over, again, there's the systems that my dad taught us. The kids using their systems and their banks and the investment accounts. It's all in here. We talk about all of it here. And then we talk about the foundation. The foundation and how it was started. And there's me playing around figuring out the flow. There's the flow. There's basically the flow. I happened to write all over my sports car, I was inspired, and that's what it looks like, guys. That's the plan. That's the plan you do right there. Boom. And it's got to be so simple. You can do it on the back of an envelope. It's got to be so simple. You can execute it on one piece of paper. And then you add complexity to it. And then we introduced the foundation. So I'm just going to bang through that to the foundation. And this is a book you can give away. You can give it away to family and friends so that they understand how we're doing, because I'm on the path. The only difference between me and you is I've been up and down the path multiple times. I know where the food is. I know where the water is. I know how to do things, how you can earn money as a student, as the enroller, and as the influencer. And then this is kind of a brag sheet. I mean, it's pretty amazing. I'm kind of a data nerd, and thanks to Ethan, we just have all kinds of data. We know what's working, we know what's not working, we know where to fix it. And then all the classes you have and all the access to all these wonderful people that make up the foundation and who we study these guys. And I've met a lot of them. Shared a stage with some of them. Seen them on stage, been in the room with them. All kinds of wonderful classes that were donated to us that we have access to. And some of these classes are just on YouTube, and we just point you in the right direction and give you credit for watching them. So some was donated, some of them are just out there, and we give you credit for watching them because somebody else already put them on YouTube or something else. Family prosperity, your real estate, okay, all of that. It's all right here. Kurt, massive help with this. Robert Allen and all the wonderful materials that he's got. And then we have some fun. We celebrate you guys. It's in here. So if you want to see your name in here, here's a couple things. The top 25 earning students in the next edition, which we're going to work on. We're going to try and increase that so more of you can see it. And many of you are in this book. A lot of you are already in this book. And again, we're showing investment accounts. Guys, it's working. It's working. And I don't care if there's $5 in your investment account or $500 or $5,000. What I care about is that you're on the path. You're planting your money trees. You're building your orchards. You're teaching your kids how to do it. That's what I care about. Here's the top students attending online classes. We have students who have been online for 500 hours. That's incredible. You're going to class. You're learning, earning, and returning. And those are the top 50 right there. Here is the top enrollers. And here's just some of the top enrollers. And you're making a difference in people's lives. So many of you are in this book. A lot of you made the book. A lot of you are in the book. And I'm just kind of a stat nerd, so I love seeing this stuff. And it helps me figure out what to fix. Top influencers. Here's the top 50 influencers. So a lot of you are in this book. You're in the book, which is great. And we got pictures of you, thanks to Josh and Audrey and Ethan for being able to literally go get this material. And we can share it all over the world with all of you. Money Angels, here's some of the people that made a big difference. The reward system, this was named after my mom and dad. So all the rewards that you get for your investment account was named after my mom and dad. And we've done, oh gosh, that number is even low. Transactions, we've done massive transactions. And we got thousands and thousands and thousands of you that have received money from us to get going. And then the Boyd and Marlene Ivy Make a Difference Fund. This is my wife's parents. Huge difference. Helped us a lot with the giving side of it. And then what we do, here's pictures of some of the people that we've helped. Some testimonials about what we do. Some of the groups we've worked with. Just a partial group. And a little bit about how it got started. And then here's the team. And this is really the big one. Make a difference, make it happen. Every life is precious. That's what the book's about. That's what the book's about. Now, in order to be able to give that away, you can simply come here you want to read it yourself, come to number 3.4, study successful people. Actually, we want to go to free books right here, 3.5. Go to 3.5. And then we're going to scroll down here. You can find it by going to Find Me, or you can go to the free books section right here. Oh, I see. I made a mistake right there. 3.5, and then come over to the left and click free books. And there it is right there. You can go download it. It'll be available on Amazon here shortly, within a few days. And it's right there. And if you want to share it, guys, you want to share it with family and friends, just go up here to 3.2. Share books and videos with family and friends. And this is the newest one, so it's kind of down on the bottom here. And you can share the book. There's the book right there. You can share your link. You can just copy it, text it to them. And that's how you share the book. I believe it'll help you guys. There's no difference between me and you. The only difference is that, I got lucky. And I was one of 10 kids. I grew up just like you did, guys. There's nothing really special. My dad taught us the stuff because we had to do it. If I wanted to make any money, I had to go earn it. if I wanted to talk to my dad, I'd do it working with him. And I remember scraping the paint off this house that was next door to us. And I asked my dad if I could get paid. And he goes, "No, son, get back to work." And a little while later, I had the gumption to ask him again. And he says, "No, I'm not going to pay for this. But guess what? We bought this house. We'd have extra money to put you kids through college." Now, as an early teen, I didn't care about college that much. And then he said something to me that I'll never forget. He said, "Son, did you know some people make so much money off of their real estate, their investments, and their businesses that they don't have a job? All they do is manage those things." That's step 7, guys. That's the wealth formula taught to a teenager. This is how you do it, guys. It'll work for you if you work it. The difference between me and you is I've been up and down the path multiple times, but it's the right path. If you follow it, it'll work. Guys, make a difference. Make a difference. Make it happen. Every life is precious. Your job's to make a difference to those you love. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go share it with others. It's easy to share. Go read it. I think it'll help you to see a model of what you can do and be like what we do. And it doesn't matter, bigger, smaller, just as long as you're doing the stuff to make a difference in others' lives. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be right back.